Hey guys, welcome back to Lootcast. This is our loot table format. As always, this is your host, Taco. I'm here with...
special guest Mike the Comic Guy.
Space Case.
EB0.
DJ Drips.
Like I said, we're just going to riff off of everything that we want to talk about today. It's a very free format, very open. Earlier, before we started recording, we were talking a lot about Pokemon and, just anything and everything that interests us. So let's just, the reins are free, open.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's something that maybe get lost on listeners, is it's not like we walk into a vacuum in silence and then press the button and start talking. It's almost always picked up in the middle of a conversation when we start one of these. So yeah, we've talked about Pokemon.
The Masuda method.
The Masuda method.
Yeah.
Super Sentai's.
Yep, Super Sentai.
Animation in general.
Animation in general.
Luchadors.
Just
yeah.
like
The new
anything.
Ultraman series.
Yeah.
This is a typical conversation for us.
Yeah.
In the news, special guest Mike the Comic Guy has hatched his first shiny.
Shit, yeah.
I got a shiny Charmander, hatched it, and raised that bitch into a Charizard.
Bitches love Charizards.
He's evil black. It's cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see his mega
form.
Yeah. Get that registered in the decks. But yeah, got a shiny Charm through some judicious training and hatched it after about 120 eggs. So if anybody needs Charizard with egg moves, please let me know.
Yeah, just hit us up in the comments below. Also in news, if you guys are keeping up with the casts, Zach has yet to accept my challenge.
This is true. Yes.
My Pokemon battle. So
it's I have to beat you best out of 15.
it's whatever you want, bro.
Okay.
Come at me.
Because I default on the originals.
Am I the only one that brings the Game Boy?
I need to start bringing mine because I forget. Like, I started bringing it, and then Zach kept losing or bowing out, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
So you know how like when you have a chore you need to do, like fix a hinge or something. That's what my 3DS is right now. It sits on my desk all day while at work, and the charger is in another room. And it would take me 30 seconds to just plug it in, but it's like the fucking hinge. I just don't want to. It's like sitting there.
It's like a squeaky hinge that
It
you
is.
want to spray with WD-40.
But the WD-40's
in the other
garage.
room.
Yeah, exactly.
And the garage is infested with spiders, so you don't want to go into the garage.
Right.
Fuck spiders.
You mean you won't let me register your friend code in X and Y because it's a hinge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't, John G. You know you've had moments.
Don't take it personally.
Oh, I have that moments all the time. Like, the kids are quiet. Well, they're either dead, in which case I can't do anything, or sleeping, in which case I don't want to disturb them, so I'll keep on watching.
You sure they're not getting into trouble?
Usually if they're getting in trouble, it's something loud, depending on where they are. I keep... the sharp things are in sight.
Like the cinnamon incident that I was privy to.
Oh my fucking god.
Let's hear about that story.
Yeah.
Wait, were you there, or did I just tell you about it?
I was there in the aftermath. I walked into the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so I go and take 5 minutes to take a crap. 10 minutes, I don't know. There was
15 minutes.
There's comics
maybe.
involved, but they seem good. They had the Red Devil Elmo on, or Daniel Tiger or some inane shit.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, because Daniel Tiger
is amazing.
is my
himself,
homeboy.
yes.
Okay, when you
And the
insult Daniel,
songs
when you
speak
come
to
at
my
Daniel
heart.
Tiger, you come at Mr. Rogers.
But
And I will
still,
throw down.
I think the Magical Kingdom is a cult led by the king. That's why there's only a certain amount of various species of humanoids, and they also have other animals too. But they all know the songs. They all know the fucking songs.
Well, regardless of the cult overtones,
It's
do not talk badly about my Daniel
indoctrination.
Tiger.
But yes, no, it's good. It speaks to my heart. The little songs are useful because I can program my children with them.
That's right.
But still, after watching the seasons over and over and over and over, I have to listen to some other podcast or something, or while I do it.
Preacher
But
report.
anyways, so I am doing something. I don't know whether it's some ticket wrapper or something, and come back and there's cinnamon fucking everywhere. I don't know how they got to the cinnamon. They're working together like raptors now. It's disturbing.
Can they open doors?
Yes.
Oh dear.
And unless it has this weird white ball thingy, if they hit it hard enough, it falls off. So yeah, we had an incident where Rowan made a break out the front door, so that was awesome. But anyways, so come in and they're covered in cinnamon. And he's like, man, I know people on the internet who get hurt from eating too much cinnamon. Like, leave that alone.
Yeah,
The cinnamon challenge?
I guess they were trying to do the cinnamon challenge. Had they seen that before?
No, they don't have. Well, I guess they do have YouTube on my wife's phone because she's soon enough to let them play with it. But usually just look up like Grover and crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, just everywhere. Everywhere. Did I have to bathe them or just wipe them down? And...
You had cleaned them up by the time I got there,
Okay.
but the kitchen was left in disarray.
Everywhere. Man, yeah, that was before
was a
they adjusted
struggle.
my medication, so I was like quivering with rage and anxiety and Xanax good. But yeah. No, they're getting better and smarter, and there's pride and terror.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's like a mixed emotion.
Yeah,
like-
it's imagine if you had a puppy who was just a bit more intelligent and could talk back. That's what kids are like.
Could put you in timeout.
Yes.
Yeah.
And can
Yes.
look you straight in the eye without saying fuck you, but you know they're going to fuck you. Like, no, don't touch that.
They don't know how to articulate it yet, but they're like, screw you, old man.
Yeah.
I'm testing boundaries.
Yeah.
I'll test something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, test your ass, but I don't really spank her.
I'm not going to turn this into a thing about kids because 2/5 of us here have kids. But like Taco mentioned, my son is 4, going on 5, and he's starting to figure out how to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be tricky.
Yeah.
So I raise him that way. So, and I was putting him in timeout, which I count down 3, 2, 1, timeout. I said 3, and he said 2. And I went to 2, and he went to 1. And when I said 1, he went 0. Dad, go to timeout. He cut me off at the pass and put me in timeout. And
It
I
works.
allowed it because
Yeah.
that was smart.
I saw it happen 100%.
Yep. No. But I'm on the opposite. Once I get to this age, if it's quiet, there's something terribly wrong.
They're getting to that part because
Yeah.
they'll like they'll move boxes like a Zelda puzzle
Yep.
or something and
Yep.
climb everywhere. And now the 1 and almost a half-year-old is doing it, and the 2.5.
He has a protege.
I know, like a little wacky. He'll just do stuff.
He has a Padawan.
Yep. Well, like Sith, there's always 2, you know?
Yeah.
He's like,
Well,
oh,
for a while until the new one comes along.
Masters, I'm
Right.
proud of you. Now go in the corner.
Yeah. Well, in other news, I am happy to announce that I am now a part of the Master Race.
You got a skin
Are
bleach.
we clapping? Is this Hitler?
No, the
No.
PC
No.
Master Race. The PC Master Race. It's an online joke that consoles are obsolete and stupid.
Yeah,
and
we're not
nobody's
racist.
surviving.
There's a black guy here. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Hello.
We can't prove it. Take our word for it. But
I mean, we
say
could prove
something?
it. He could say the N word right now and get
Oh,
away
yeah.
with it, but
maybe he could talk in
I
jive.
physically can.
This just got extremely racist.
I see neither fried chicken or grape
Like-
juice.
Like, the Master Race thing was not racist. I was trying to defend it.
I was trying to understand.
So anyway, I recently purchased all the components that one would need for a PC, and I put it together myself.
Lords.
It was amazing. It was a lot of fun to do. I haven't done ones probably in 6 or 7 years, and this one was even more, I guess, challenging because the case, Carbide Series 450, it was enormous. It was a full ATX, and it had different components and newer technologies and stuff like that I'm used to. Something called like an M2 port for like direct onboard memory, so you could put a SSD on your board and do a quick spin up of your OS just like almost immediately.
Yep.
It's super awesome. I didn't know it was there until after, but
I know some of those words.
does your
I know OS.
If you're like Mike and you're listening and you're thinking, I could never do that, it's really extremely easy. You could go to PCPartPicker.com. It'll make sure your stuff is compliant. And you can easily build a PC for under $400
Yeah.
that will crush the PS4 and Xbox One. I mean this. I will stand by this. I don't even care about being neutral because I'm on this show. There is no reason to own a console.
at this time,
Yes.
because the technologies all exist to run them through a PC.
Right,
which
exactly.
which is almost exactly what an Xbox is because Microsoft develops them.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I can know one reason is content exclusivity.
Yeah, but if you're buying it for one game, then you're either very wealthy or need to rethink your.
I
Or a
don't-
Nintendo fan.
I don't even want to
Okay.
get into that
I
because
renege what I said. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. It's the only console they own.
Yeah, if they're not,
So-
have they put Zelda games and
Not yet.
stuff on?
ROMs. I mean, emulators, but
I can't find any Nintendo. Not that I would ever do that.
We don't
You know,
do
back
yeah,
up
we
the-
don't. That's illegal. And
I own all the games anyways. But,
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'd rather
Yeah.
play it on my phone than use batteries.
But I just don't even want to get into content exclusivity because the people who design games should not be out there with the goal of restricting somebody's access to it.
Right.
I mean, it's there for fun. It's called a game. I mean, it was developed in the 70s and the 80s for kids to have fun with, and for somebody to come along in a corporation and say, "No, you can't play this because you haven't bought our $400, $500 console just for this one title." I think it's ridiculous.
If we're going to go into that, we have to touch on the fact that PC has a couple 100 million more exclusive titles than the consoles do.
Yeah.
So if you
Lots
want
of
to go into
homebrew
this,
indie titles.
yeah,
But
exactly.
but that's not on purpose. It's not. I don't think that the PC developers who develop these games
No,
go into it and
it's
say,
easier to develop for PC.
"Yeah,"
I mean,
and more people have PCs in their homes than they have
It's-
consoles.
And
It's
that
better-
$400 investment in the equipment, like wait for a Humble Bundle or Steam sale.
Yeah.
You get some really good
Yep.
stuff and really cheap,
I own-
especially if you're a broke-ass gamer like me.
I'm sure, and I'm sure Casey can confirm here too. Like, I have hundreds of game on Steam.
Yep.
I have probably spent less than $50.
I've got like 97 last count, and I've only bought one of those at full price when it came out.
Yeah, I
Like-
just got. I just downloaded Steam for the second time, the first time on my laptop, and thought this isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
And I just downloaded it on the new PC, and I'll get those stats later for all you guys PC buffs. But I found out that our friend Jared Bear gifted me The Last Remnant, the full thing on Steam, and it was a game that I had owned on the 360, and I couldn't beat past disc 1 because I had messed it up. I wasn't playing right, and it was really fun and interesting to me. It was a difficult game though, and I'll play it on the PC now. So that's something that's really cool.
And you can probably upscale it too. You can, get HD texture packs. The whole modding thing, like that's. I almost didn't want to turn this loot table into talking about the benefits of PC gaming, because if you're the kind of person who still lives under a rock and thinks that your console's better, we're not going to convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
You've willingly chosen to ignore the facts. It's cheaper. It's better. It has more options, more utility. It's just literally better in every way. And if you want to live under a rock and pretend that's not the case, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. It's your loss. So
Devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Some people don't trust themselves to build their own gaming systems,
Yeah.
and excuse me. Whenever you're doing builds on your own, sometimes that gives you an unfair advantage over people that can't afford the premium parts.
That's true.
So a lot of people want a completely level playing field when they're playing online games. There's no chance of somebody having a better graphics card or something something to give them a slight edge.
That'd be, probably RAM or processor,
Yeah.
not so much graphics
Well, if you
card.
care about that much about competitiveness, you're probably going to invest anyways.
Yeah.
that's true, but I game on a budget gaming computer.
Yeah.
And just about every game I play is extremely competitive. I play Dota 2, which is extremely competitive. You don't play that game for fun.
No.
You don't believe the lies where people try to tell you otherwise. And I play it on a computer whose parts are 3 or 4 years old. I'm not getting ultimate high settings or anything, but I get a stable enough frame rate
Yeah.
to play it.
Yeah.
So,
And within the context of building your own, I was extremely nervous because I didn't want to mess anything up because these were pretty high quality parts that I had purchased. And the most technical and difficult task that I was worried about was installing the processor
Seeing the processors, that's
and
seeing it.
and the cooling fan,
Mhm.
mostly because of one aspect, the thermal paste, where less is more. And for you guys out there that are, that feel that same way, that little nervousness when you're thinking about building your own, Intel kits come with thermal paste already applied on the
Yep.
cooling fan. So you just plop it on there, click it down. You don't even need a screwdriver,
Yep.
and you've got yourself and it's seamless to install. It's got 2 notches and an arrow. You can't mess it up.
It's literally easier than Legos.
Yeah.
It really is.
Wow.
Yeah, you look at the PCI Express slot and you go circle, 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 square. Well, that must go into the circle, 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 square slot.
Yeah.
It's that easy. It
I'm
just
sure there are at least one person has been like, "Is it going here?" No.
Yeah.
Well, I
If
can
you-
fuck up that.
if you cannot pass the 1-year-old toy where you put the blocks in the right holes, then you're probably not intelligent enough to even get to our show and listen to it coherently.
True.
Well, you can be on. No.
Call us at 555 fuck you.
There are many people, like, I think 4 out of 5 of us have worked in tech support.
Yeah.
At one point.
We have IT backgrounds.
There are, how many calls did you get from somebody who obviously was a gamer because you talked to them, and they were still messing up the simplest bullshit on their calls?
This
Like,
is true, but now you're talking about software. And that once you get into software, you're right.
Yeah.
It's totally on you. I can't say that you're going to be able to do that if you don't understand how to get a fresh install of Windows 8 up to the point where it has the stuff you want on it. Totally different ball game. Go to YouTube. Okay.
I was this close from playing Minecraft while remoting into someone's computer.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
We could test it. No, I'm sure it's fine. Okay.
No, I've got an IT background. I don't usually delve into the personal lives of people, so I don't know if they're gamers or if they're what they like to call IT literate or technical literate. They love to tell us when they call us, I don't know any of this. I'm not. Yeah. I'm IT or I'm computer illiterate is what they like to call it. I don't think anybody's computer illiterate. I think at this day and age, I think it's common sense. And I think everybody should be trained on how to use a computer.
You'd think that.
But, I mean, that's my personal opinion. Well, it's not fact.
Yeah.
There's classes out there for that, too. I mean, most libraries give those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I work specifically in financial technology. Bankers tend to be older and more traditional people, and they tend to know how to use the programs that they use. Like, they can navigate in a green screen from the 80s like no one's business. But the second you ask them to go to a website, they're like, what? How do I press a button? Like that's the kind of people I work with.
It's the Blue E, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the good old Blue E.
That's your operating system.
That's right. Yeah. What operating system are you on? Internet Explorer.
Yeah. Right. First thing I want to do is go to google.com/Chrome.
Yeah. Install. Or just open Google or just go to google.com because it'll just ask you, do you want to install Chrome? But I digress. Yes. This is going a little too techy. Yeah. I feel for it's a free format, so it doesn't really matter.
I got a story that can just completely change the direction of this.
Segways are weird.
Yes.
Did you know the guy? 1 second. Sorry. Did you know the guy who invented Segways died on a Segway?
Yep. What?
He took it off a cliff.
On purpose?
No, he was. I think he had built a test course or something. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Near a cliff?
Well, there was a test on the test course. There was a cliff that I think overlooked a beach or something like that. It was almost like a golf course, with a sand trap.
This is so safe. I can.
I don't think it was intentional. And it may have been an off-road version of the Segway, but I'm almost 99% sure that the story is 80% true.
Yep. From NBC News, a British businessman who bought the Segway company less than a year after died after riding one of the scooters off a cliff and into a river near his Yorkshire estate.
So I guess it wasn't the inventor.
Yeah, the guy that just bought it. Jim Hudson, known as Jimmy, acquired the Segway company from U.S. inventor Dean Kamen. So apparently Mr. Kamen did not kill himself.
No, that's good. I'm sorry, Mr. Kamen, for stating that.
I like thinking about some sort of sabotage where they cut the Segway brake line. I can't stop! It's really...
There's not a brake line because it uses centrifugal gravity, doesn't it? Or momentum.
Like
it's like the end of...
I don't know. I'm not rich.
Well, I know, but it might have a brake line.
No, it does. No, there's no brakes on it. It's all pivots. But it just reminds me of the end of the first Austin Powers movie. with the steamroller coming at 2 miles an hour. Stop!
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
What's the movie where at the bus stops they all die?
Speed.
That one. Yeah.
Are you trolling?
No, I'm not. They need to remake that with a Segway.
Okay. Before we segue one more time, another story about Zach here.
Sorry, DJ.
I was taking him home from work a couple of years ago.
Why don't we just recreate it right now?
We were talking about video games. Go ahead.
What's the game where you have the God hand?
Do you mean God hand, Zach?
Yes.
Real conversation we had.
We have to forgive Zach. He's very intelligent. And he's got a cute face, but sometimes, let me tell you.
I'm a min-maxer. I took all my points out of Pancreas. Put it in other things, so.
It's like insulin? We'll take that down a bit.
Does that sometimes mess with your memory? Or your cognitive abilities?
I'm a min-maxer. I took all my points out of Pancreas.
Let's see what you did there.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
DJ,
go ahead.
Okay, so this story. I'm the one guy that doesn't do IT or have any of this tech stuff. I have an industrial job. I am working at my job. I'm just going about my business. Out of the corner of my eye, the guy who works the chem department at my job, I see him for a split second. He just doesn't have on pants, socks, or shoes. He just glides past the door. And it's like The Shining when you see that guy blowing a bear. I had no idea what to think or feel for like 20 minutes, and the entire night nobody said a word about it.
You say glided past. I remember like Mr. Burns from the Alien episode. That's all I can imagine.
So that's just the thing that happens at my job, apparently.
So you work with industrial equipment, right?
You work with chemicals, man.
Chemicals, yeah.
So maybe you got a spill. I mean, wouldn't they just go like into a washing station?
With your dick?
Would you take your pants off? That's my question.
There's
nothing
acid
else
on my dick.
Like, I don't know.
But yeah, he was like calm with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think if somebody had a chemical spill on their junk, they'd be a little more animated.
Yeah, you just walk past.
Maybe that's a
and
side effect of the chemical.
Maybe he has a fetish for like cooking bacon without his pants on, and he wants to do an extreme version.
It's super sensitive, right?
This is hydrochloric acid. We're just gonna
Chemical X.
Sugar, spice, dicks.
No, that's
Where
fan
we-
fiction we don't want to go into.
It's the Powerpuff Traps.
Segue, did you know that they're making a new Powerpuff Girl cartoon?
Yes, I did hear about
And
that.
they didn't invite any of the original
I know.
voices.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I will never watch it.
How could they not get Tara Strong?
Yep. Tara
She'll
Strong
do
and the other
anything.
two that no one remembers, the Luke Table and Luke Cass is there with you.
We support
Yeah,
you.
please. If you ever want to call into the show, we'll put we're not live or anything, but we'll put your audio through somewhere.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god, yeah.
Casey, go and correct me. Who are the other two voice actors?
You said it immediately, and I was like, shit, I know them, but now I can't because you put me on the spot. Fuck you.
Well, let's
We'll
just
put
list
you
the
down in
things
the
that
thing.
Tara Strong does. Bubbles. She did.
Poof from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. She also did Harley Quinn for a little while on the Batman animated
She's
series.
the new Harley Quinn.
Yeah, once they
She took
the
over
old
for
one.
the old one, which I forgot her name. That was the only voice that she had ever done was Harley Quinn.
She's also just in My Little Pony.
Twilight Sparkle. we
Twilight
gotta say
Sparkle
that.
and- Yeah, of course.
She's everything.
Yeah,
She
if you
is.
watch the animation.
She's
You've
a
heard Tara
princess
Strong.
now.
She's a phenomenal.
Titans.
Oh yeah, she did.
Oh,
Teen
yeah,
Titans.
Raven. Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about when you think about the same voice actress that did Bubbles, this amazing animated character. Not only in the sense that she's drawn, but in the sense that her emotions and
Would you say bubbly?
she's very bubbly.
There we go.
Effervescent, even.
Yeah, effervescent.
That was on the same ring.
And then right next to it, you have this very monotoned, dark, deep,
Dower.
mysterious Raven.
She was the first voice of Hello Kitty.
Yep. When
Tara
she was like
Strong?
12, 13, something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I heard that on Fat Man on Batman.
Fat Man.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And listening to her switch between the different
Oh my
voices
God.
was really great.
Kevin Smith loved that too. I think
Well, he was high as
definitely had
fuck.
it. Well, yeah, he was always high on. I'm pretty sure on all of those. But I'm pretty sure he had a half shell at least, and the entire thing. He was moaning the entire time.
Oh, what was it? I forgot. My favorite role that she ever did was Batgirl.
Oh, did
Oh yeah.
Like,
I know she did. Okay, so she did Batgirl in the animated series, the Bruce Timm animated
Yeah.
series, right?
Did she do it in the Lauren Faust animated
Yeah.
series too?
Yep, she came back for
That
that
was
too.
really good. They
yeah,
did
I
that
wish
series.
that had kept going. But no.
Bruce Timm's got a new universe.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but man, it looks good.
I haven't seen anything on it, but I love his art direction and
The
everything.
comics are great.
Take it and take the normal DC universe and make it darker.
That's
Which-
perfect. Isn't that Dark Horse? Aren't they
What-
DC?
No, Dark Horse,
Independent?
Vertigo is what you're thinking.
Vertigo, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Which they're launching 12 new books this year.
Really?
Yeah, some interesting stuff.
Also,
But
quick question: is it true? I heard that they're actually, for once, doing a reboot of Marvel Universe. Is that right?
They did.
it's an in continuity reboot, but yeah, everything's launching at a number one.
Well, they already did Spider-Man.
Yeah,
They
this
did the
is
Marvel
this-
Now imprint.
Is this their equivalent of like the New 52 kind of thing?
Sort
Yeah.
of. Basically, what went down is over the past 2 or 3 years, since the last time I was working in a comic shop, Jonathan Hickman's been. Jonathan Hickman's been building the story with the Avengers, where kind of broadening their scope and kind of breaking down as well. So when he did Avengers and New Avengers, the New Avengers dealt with hey, universes are being destroyed. There's incursions where our Earth is in danger of colliding with another Earth, or other Earths are doing throughout the multiverse.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the Beyonders, which are the alien engineers of the multiverse in Marvel, are bringing their experiment to an end and basically wiping the slate clean. Over.
The second you mentioned this, it reminded me of one of my favorite pieces of lore, and I'm basically the lore guy, and that's the Elder Scrolls. Because if you play any of the Elder Scrolls games, you will never get any of this. But in the Elder Scrolls, there are two god beings that are dreaming, and there's something called a Kalpa in the Elder Scrolls, which is exactly what you're talking about. That's whenever the dream ends and a new one starts. It's a reboot. Every time, the same things are always going to happen. There'll be the same races, the same general progression, but it's a big restart. And it sounds like a restart of a Kalpa for Marvel.
Yeah, and basically at the end, whatever happens at the end of Battle World, Secret Wars. Secret Wars. Yes, plural. Secret War was the Bendis thing from 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. At the end of it, basically, it's going to reintroduce the Marvel Universe again. Most of what works will be familiar, but it'll give creators a chance to basically pitch. Kind of like when they started doing with the Marvel Now, the all-new Marvel Now. This is all-new Marvel. Mm-hmm. All new, all different. So it's... Instead of Iron Man being a complete dick after the Inversion storyline, it may not even be Tony Stark. Yeah. But the end result is
it'll still be
Miles Morales. He's going to be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And Amazing Spider-Man is going to take Peter Parker to the next progression of the Parker Industries, where they're opening up facilities across the world, and he's becoming more of a global hero.
Which is he's doing that now because he's got he's got his own Spider Force. I mean, he's got Kane down in, I think he's in Texas. Or Georgia.
He was in New Warriors. I don't know if Kane might.
Scarlet Spider,
Kane, Parker. Yeah, he may have died in Spider-Verse, but may have not. They've kind of left that open ended. But so Spider-Gwen will go and have her own adventures in her own universe, but also come into this universe.
Right.
And it's basically...
I want to read Spider-Gwen so bad.
It's so good.
I love Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. The art is awesome. And the flow, the cohesiveness.
I'm an MJ fan, but I love some Gwen Stacy too.
Well, the band is the Mary Janes.
Yep.
So that's really cool. And someone recorded the Tiger, You Hit the Jackpot, or Face the Tiger song. Yeah. And that was really cool. Dan Slott's been killing it on it. But you'll have an all-new Avengers that features the Miss Marvel, who's a female Inhuman Pakistani girl who grew up in Jersey, and Miles Morales, and like a lot of diversity with some elder statesmen, kind of some established Avengers. But he's doing Avengers, and that's the Avengers. But it gives him the freedom to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And get rid of, hand wave some stuff that people kind of hated.
Yeah. Well, that's I don't know. I guess the whole Kalpa thing and the reboot, a lot of things do that, and it always reminds me of like watching my son play with toys, because he has the same toys, the same action figures, and they always have the same name, but every time he plays with them, it's different. The story
it's a different story.
Exactly, and that's what it is. It's an excuse to justify.
There's a huge industry reason, because number one issues sell better. Mm-hmm. Creative changes, also giving people a way in to outsiders is really daunting to pick up Action Comics number 600.
Yeah.
But if it's Action Comics Volume 3 number 1, you have more of a chance to start off with that storyline.
Yeah.
A little advice: never be afraid to jump into a comic. If they're doing their job well, you will enjoy it anyways. Mm-hmm. And if it's kind of like catching a show late or something like that.
Yeah.
If it's enjoyable, you may go back and hunt stuff, or you can just read a Wikipedia article to be caught up and go forward from there.
Well,
I know there's a stigma and the geeky instinct to collect stuff, but new number ones give that a chance. They boost sales.
Yeah, but I tried to read the Batgirl comics, the New 52. And like half of those stories is like, want to see the end? Get Batman or Batman Inc. And I'm like,
the
fuck
giant
you!
crossovers.
I'm not going to get another comic to get the end of the story.
They did that with all the Batman characters, but I was collecting Aquaman, and I didn't really feel the need to buy others. Because all the Batman characters are the ones it's like, you need to buy all
Aquaman
these.
did cross over with Justice League a little, but
Yeah.
the transitions were smooth. It didn't feel like you were missing a huge chunk of that story. It
Yeah.
was
And then
perfect.
they work in flashbacks and they get you back online.
And I think DJ and I are in agreement on this. We like starting at the beginning.
Yes.
I won't jump into the middle of things on principle. So when you brought this up, I got excited. I was raised on Marvel Comics and haven't collected them ever my whole life because it's like, where do I even begin?
Exactly.
If you want, I can kind of look over some stuff, like research online, and we can do stuff like what would you like? What do you like?
You've never steered me wrong. Everything you've ever lent me has been excellent. So
I even though I don't work at a comic shop, it's hard to follow a habit of knowing the creators, knowing the characters, knowing the artists.
the number one comic shop is in
And that's
Park.
why, and I've mentioned it before, my favorite collection, or part of my collection, is the Todd McFarlane 5-part series that he did with Stan Lee. And that's where it came at a fruition for me, where I was like, well, this is something I love. Spider-Man, I've always loved it. And I love Todd McFarlane's art. He does Spawn. He was that was his brainchild.
Yeah.
And Stan Lee, I mean, he claims that he invented over half of the popular
it's
titles.
probably safe to say that he had some
Co-invented.
influence, but Jack Kirby got
We won't.
the raw end of the deal.
We won't go into it. Stan Lee's a genius. I love him. He does amazing work.
If you're curious about that, read the Jack Kirby book by Mark Evener. I have in my trunk if anybody here wants to borrow it.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing, sad, beautiful, it's great.
But you just find the series that you like, or a superhero that you like. You find an artist that you like, and then you start at either a series, a number part series that they put out, or you start at whenever they pick up the comic. Yeah. So if they pick it up at 302, then you'd have to start from there. But that's strictly because you like their art over somebody else's art.
Yeah, interesting story about jumping in to comics is because you brought up Spawn. The only reason I got into Spawn was because of issue 10. The first time I read Spawn was that, because it was a crossover with Cerebus.
Yep.
And I was a huge fan of Cerebus. Dave Sim, say what you want of how it ended. The guy's a genius, and the comic is crazy, but whatever. But yeah, the only reason I read Spawn, I was like, I saw that cover with Cerebus on it. I'm like, hell yeah, I want that. What's this? And I read it, and it was really freaking good. And then I was like, yeah, I want Spawn now. So
yeah. Well, any closing statements? Any other news that anybody has? Any Weeaboo news you want to share?
Not really. I haven't read or watched any of the new stuff yet.
Anything
besides
about our formats?
Yeah, I've got some format news. I'm going to start work on my next format, the one that I'll be heading the way that Taco heads this one and Space Case heads Weeaboo Wednesdays. I'll be starting what I call...
Excuse me.
That's fine.
Sorry,
talking. It's okay.
Sorry.
He was just
Never
talking.
mind. I have no announcements.
No, go ahead. I'm
DJ,
sorry.
no, all yours, Mr. Drips.
I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I coughed. Jesus.
We've hurt EB0's feelings.
How dare you
wasn't
have an
on-
involuntary reaction?
Was it
you
on
bastard.
purpose? I'm sorry.
But was it on point?
I love you. Do we need to hug it out on air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Can you hear these hugs? Can you hear it?
Oh, that is a real hug. That is legit hugs right there.
There we go.
Oh.
Alright, so as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted.
You were, and I apologize.
I will be starting Creators Workshop, which is where it's kind of two different things merged to one. I'll be interviewing people about the things that they create or want to create. And then I'll also have a roundtable discussion like we're doing now about the same struggles all creators face. Because everyone who tries to make anything has the same core set of challenges they go through. You know, how do you make the time? How do you find the inspiration? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to create a format where we can talk about that at length, because I know everyone in this room has some idea or something that they want to make or do, or probably multiple, actually.
How many is a better question.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if that doesn't sound very appealing to you, please check it out. There's probably going to be a million things of questions that we could answer, because half of you listening at least are going to have an inkling of an idea that you want to do.
And that's who I'm aiming this at. I'm aiming it at the person who's always had that little scratch behind their ear, that idea they wanted to do, and have just never taken off.
Yeah,
and
then
if you have any questions about it, please comment about any of our podcasts. We like input. We may ignore the fuck out of you, or it may turn it into something even better. This is all about us, but you guys are welcome to.
Yeah, community engagement is probably our number one.
I have a Twitter now.
It's
crazy.
Please follow Space Case at Space Case whatever.
It's at Space Case 84 because, of course, Space Case was taken because I made my Twitter in 2015.
Yeah.
I have Mike the Comic Guy, though I'm not using it.
You also have Ash Hole Ketchum.
Oh God!
That is
use that again.
That is
great.
At Ash Hole Ketchum.
You are hearing the reboot of the legendary Ash Hole Ketchum series right now.
I need some help with some Pokepuns.
If you have some terrible offensive Pokepuns, send them to Ash Hole Ketchum at Twitter.
I also have at Dad Staying Sane, where I post horrible pictures of my kids either doing giving stock and me laughing or something like that, or just dad stuff. But I do have a question about your creators workshop thing.
Yeah.
And they're like talking about ideas, sharing ideas, fleshing it out. Do you have any concern about like maybe someone taking that idea? Is that too complimentive?
I think everyone has that negative
is there any way
and
to like?
We were going to be covering that. I'm a huge participant in a lot of online communities for my big thing, which is world building, and that always comes up. How do I know someone else isn't going to take my idea and run with it? Here is my official stance on it. If it happens, it's your fault. If you didn't use the idea, it's on you. And that's how it is. I mean, if you are scared that someone's going to take your idea because you talked about it on the show, honestly, don't talk about it. Because,
or don't go into detail.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give a general outline. Say, hey, I want to do a comic. Where do I start?
Well, you can even go into detail and understand that because you would be the person doing it, it would be vastly different and have a totally different feel than if someone else did it. If
that's true.
Yeah, if all 5 of us decided to make a Super Sentai show and went off in 5 directions and made one, they'd all be completely different.
Like DJ were talking about that before the cast.
One of my comic ideas a long time ago, like I've been building that universe for a long time, is about the Grim Reaper. And that's been done many times.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've had the Grim Reaper in... I guarantee you, nobody's ever considered what I've thought about on this. So, yeah, like... I have some of those issues, too, but I'll go through it.
We all do, absolutely.
We'll deal with that then.
But we'll have the round table, and along with it, I will be doing interviews with people who have successfully became a creator. I've got some local talents that will be on the show. Jed Nichols, for anyone familiar with him. He is a local filmmaker and actor. He was in our local Sato 48 challenge.
Yeah, he always is. Sato 48's awesome.
Yes.
There's somebody you need to look into. There's a game development company in Springfield. They make Dungeon Drop.
Delver's Drop.
Or Dungeon, something like that. Yeah, Delver's Drop, Dungeon's Drop, something like that.
Yeah, actually contributed to the Kickstarter and have that game. It's pretty sweet.
Is that a roguelike?
It's a roguelike mixed with Zelda.
You're speaking my language right now.
Dynamic physics and stuff.
I hate roguelikes, but this game looks fantastic.
Well, the cool thing is that I participated in a class with one of their graphic designers.
Oh, cool!
And he was in the class with me.
And that's what I want to do because I'm not looking for the big names.
No.
Right now. I'm looking for the people that have done it. They've transitioned from I would love to do this to I have actually done this. Yeah. So I've got Jed Nichols coming up. I would love to interview them. I'm talking to our mutual friend Steve about his book he's written.
Also talk to Jared George, a local comic creator, and Ryan Wheaton.
And that's
see if they're not too busy.
That'd be amazing. That's what this is. This is a clarion call for anyone who is or knows a content creator. If you want to be on the show, please let us know. Yeah. Episode 1 is going to be about our very own Taco about this podcast.
Yep.
It's his brainchild. He brought us all together and said, I spent money on this mic, so do it or I'll kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I blame you.
But without going into further detail, it's going to be awesome. Please always leave us a comment or a like or subscribe, whatever you've got for us. Send us an email. I think it's loopcastofficial@gmail.com.
The one that started it, but yes, it's LoopCastOfficial.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We'll get it right someday.
Yeah,
it's LoopCastOfficial because that's.
But that has been our show. That has been our Loot Table, the free format. It was everywhere. It was fast-paced. It was lovely. We hope that you guys are satisfied and sitting in bed somewhere smoking a cigarette.
Bitches.
Yep.
So this has been Taco.
Mike the Comic Guy.
Space Case.
EV0.
DJ.
And see you guys next time.
Hashtag Kinky Back Set.
You said it too fast.
Read Armada by Ernest Cline. It's awesome.
Oh, Crunchyroll.com. We're not sponsored, but check them out.
That's for Weeble Wednesday, bro.
Oh, sorry.